It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and you know we typically feature a beer of the week. I am Matt. Alongside me is Lauren, and fear not, folks, we will be your tornado experts tonight as we are going to talk about Twister because July 12th, the long-awaited sequel, whether you've actually been waiting, I have since 1996. Glenn Powell has taken the reins of the Twister franchise, and Twisters is set to release. I hope I get to watch it before I take our cruise adventure. But we are talking about the wonderful movie Twister, and we're going to have some fun facts for you. We're going to talk about the film. But first things first, if this is your first time, we talk about news, what we've been reading or watching, maybe some things we messed up on. So if there's ever anything we mess up on, please call us out and let us know. Then we'll talk about the next episode. And then, of course, Hops Geek News on every podcasting platform, every social media platform. Go ahead, give us a follow, subscribe, share, review, anything, all that good stuff, especially on like YouTube. We're really close to getting to 1,000, man. Push us over that edge if you so kindly will. And then weekly comic book reviews on nerdinitiative.com, which we will talk about our weekly reads here in a minute. My beer is a local one from Aleworks Brewing out of Williamsburg, Virginia, right down the road from me. It is called Collective Efforts IPA, brewed to benefit the Pink Boots Society. So it's a collaboration brew. I chose this because I really, really felt like Twister is a collective effort because what they're trying to do is get tornado data, man. Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, they're trying to get the tornado data. It's a collective effort. It's crazy. Maybe I'm reaching, but teamwork spotlights the causes that matter to the Aleworks team and the organizations that make a difference in our community. Pink Boot Society aims to assist, inspire, and encourage women and non-binary individuals in the fermented/alcoholic beverage industry to advance their careers through education. The story of women's struggle for equality belongs to no single feminist, nor to any organization, but to the collective efforts of all of those who care about human rights. Quote, Gloria Steinem. Aleworks will donate $1 per can of collective efforts sold to help fund scholarships that support the Pink Boots mission. Very, very important. Really great brewery. So check them out. Lauren, welcome. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a beer from Micah. If you don't know who Micah is, he's been on a few episodes. It's been a minute. We probably are due to have Micah back one day. He is a very knowledgeable in the comic book world. We have had him on a Canteen. Actually, he was on the one when we talked about X-Men 97 with Julia and Eric Lewald.
Yes.
So he also has his own podcast that he does drop occasionally, Tavern Geek. He sent me this beer from Three Notch Brewing.
Great brewery.
Emperor of Clouds Imperial Hazy IPA. It's got an adorable little emperor penguin on there. So I didn't really have anything tornado themed. I wish I had something.
Man. I wish I did.
But I got clouds on here. I got on my, other half glass from Tracy, and I got clouds on this can from Micah. So I got clouds, and clouds,
Clouds form tornadoes, man. Like, all right. Clouds form freaking tornadoes. Dude, Three Notch is great. Try, if anybody's ever there, try their Brussels sprout salad. It's really good.
Ooh. So if I'm slurring by the end of this, it's a 9%er.
Ah, yes. I didn't see. This is an 8%er. Wow. Okay.
It's big.
Saucy.
And I said to because Josh asked, my husband will sometimes ask, like, what are you drinking on the podcast tonight? Because sometimes I'll pour him some. And I'm like, actually, I would like it because this is a full pint. This is 32 fluid ounces.
Help me drink. And he said, not tonight, buddy.
This doesn't seem like it's that much, but it is very tall.
On your own.
It's bigger than 16. That's not 32. What?
No way.
I'm not great at math, but that doesn't make sense.
I'm no mathematician. However, that doesn't. Anyways, man, Twister, great movie. We'll get into that soon. So first things first, we don't have any mistakes unless you're not calling us out. Do so. But let's go into what we've been reading or watching first. So I kicked things off this week with my review of reading Zatanna, Bring Down the House, written by Mariko Tamaki. Artist is Javier Rodriguez, letterer Hassan Otsmain Elhau. And dude, I love Zatanna. I freaking love Zatanna. So this is like
Only
a cool
know her in
story.
Smallville, and she's so fun.
Dude, so she's a magical DC character, mostly known for like Justice League Dark, but she's incredible. She's powerful. And this kind of shows her, it's a little different take. She's in Vegas. She's basically working for free doing, they don't call it magic. She's doing shows, and she notices somebody keeps showing up to her shows. She's got this mysterious past. They do show her dad a little bit. So she's just basically doing her thing in Vegas, man. And some things happen. I don't want to give it away. I think you should really read it. It's very, very good. Aside from that, I did Rook Exodus Volume 3 from Ghost Machine Image Comics, and our friends over there, Jeff Johns, Jason Fabuk, Brad Anderson, and Rob Lee. Now this issue 3, there's like a war coming on this planet. Rook has teamed up with Direwolf. They go to like the safe haven oasis, and basically it's just like preparing for war. We get to see a lot of the other masks because this planet of Rook, Rook's on. His helmet connects him to birds. His companion now, her helmet is wolves, and so like everybody's got something different. Meet somebody who's got a turtle helmet. We meet polar bears. We've met spiders, ants. Like there's a whole different array. It's really cool, but their planet's dying, and there is a gentleman creature who we don't really know, who is killing people with like wardens is what they're called, and taking their helmets. So next, I did read and review Principles of Necromancy from Magma Comics. Man, wow. Obviously, Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly are the writers. Sean Lee is the letterer. But I really want to highlight real quick Eamon Winkle, who is absolutely insane on the artwork. He is doing some really incredible things. Man, like the body horror. It's very big body horror because, Jacob Eyes is out there trying to stave off death and prove that death is not the end. We're at this doctor's conference where all these different doctors who are very grotesque, very different from each other, drawn in very creepy, gross ways. They don't approve of what he's doing. And so they're kind of excommunicating him, throwing him in jail. It's so crazy. It's kind of like a Frankenstein meets like Hostel almost. It's very bizarre. Yeah, it's great. A little bit of humor, but dude, pick up this comic from Magma Comics. And then the last thing that I talked and reviewed is from Distillery Media, who is also doing great things. This comes from James Tynan and Christian Ward, excuse me. It's Spectrograph Volume 2. Now, this is about two real estate agent. Like I talked about last time I reviewed this, she abandons her baby to go sell this house. They really need the money. She doesn't do it on purpose. She thinks the baby is fine. She gets trapped in this house where they're trying to do something. It's basically a camera, and there's a bunch of ghosts, and it's very creepy. But Christian Ward's artwork, Jesus God, it should absolutely just be taught. And it's incredible. Can't say enough. That's what I'm been reading. I did finish season 11 of Supernatural. All right. I'm on season 12. God.
Bitch Mary is back.
Yeah, bitch Mary is back.
I don't want to go too much in this because obviously we're doing our own specials with Supernatural, but did you have any idea she was coming back?
No idea. And then she shows up and I'm like, ugh. And then just every time she's on screen, I'm like, I thought you were a hunter. And she's the most inept human in this entire series.
Guys,
and she's awful. Yeah. Her personality sucks. Her hunting skills suck. She's such a drag. Fuck, she sucks.
So there are some great scenes that come out of Dean, and like some like heartbreaking moments that they do show in the future. So I feel like I'm glad we got her back in that regard, but I always hated her, but I always showed so much hate towards her. I was always like, I hope Matt doesn't, because if all we saw was her in the first episode and then a couple flashbacks to when she's like, early 20s, like, why do you hate this lady so much? But it's, then when you really get to know her. And oh my God, my mom was defending her one day, and I won't say what she ends up doing, but I'm like, Mom, if you ever do this, I'd be so mad at you. And she just started laughing at me. And when you get there, we'll talk about it.
She's like, if I'm trapped in a room with her and the British woman of letters, like first of all, stick with the woman British of letters. She's kind of fine. Like she can torture me any day. Second of all,
but like I hate her so much.
I also hate her. However, I'm choosing her over Mary Winchester because anytime she's on screen, she just brings the mood down, man. Like it's just such a drag.
She's the hot girl in Friends. Anybody who watches Friends,
Mary Winchester is?
She makes a cameo in Friends. I did a TikTok on it on our Hops Geek news page. I will send it to you, where it's like hot girl, and Joey's looking for hot girl. All right, I'm gonna send that to you.
Yeah.
In a
All
minute.
right. So
But,
I'm
yeah.
not a fan, but I will just, the only thing I'm gonna say on this is, because you'll have to go watch our recaps, is Crowley is my favorite character right now.
I love Crowley.
And I'll
so
leave it
much.
that. Have watched The Boys, have watched Star Wars Acolyte. The only thing I'll say about Acolyte is that was some of the best lightsaber work we have gotten in since the prequels. Now, that said, I highly recommend you go and listen to our Cantina Hour, because we dive into Acolyte episode 5 and The Boys episode 5. A lot of great TV out right now. The Bear has just premiered all episodes, which I think is a mistake, because they could be capitalizing, much like The Boys and Acolyte are. House of Dragons going on right now. Dude, we're in such a beautiful time for TV, but I will shut up.
It is crazy
Lauren,
how many new things are out this week.
It's big media. I mean, Amazon's got something, Disney's got something.
I just remembered what the other thing was I watched. It was Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, I did watch Doctor Who. My short thoughts are, I didn't love this season really at all. I thought it was actually, I expected more, and I didn't love it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I liked the overall season. I thought it was good with a lot of the tiebacks, but I didn't love the overall story. There were things I very much so enjoyed, but I felt like there were a lot of things missing. I very much so nitpicked it. If you want to hear more of what I thought, I actually did join on Nerd Initiative with Off the Cuff Tom and Mickey on Monday. We talked the finale and we talked the overall season. My favorite part genuinely was the callbacks. Just, it really felt like this wasn't just the 15th Doctor. This was the Doctor. And also, I love Ncuti. I think he did a fantastic job.
Oh, I thought he did fantastic. This is no knock against him. I love him as the Doctor.
100%. I think I cannot wait. Honestly, the thing I'm looking forward to the most is seeing more of him as the Doctor.
I just think, like, for me personally, Ruby Sunday, like their relationship just never really connected for some reason.
And that's why I'm happy that relationship is come to a close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they didn't connect together, and I felt like with having such a short season, they didn't really have time to flesh out more things to really get us to connect to their relationship. And I think that's my big drawback, is we're so used to these longer seasons of Doctor Who that this one was shorter. So we didn't really have a time to get to spend with these characters.
It was way too short. Things were not fleshed out completely. Like they should have been 100%.
Yeah, they rushed a lot. So that's just it. I mean, was it bad? No, I love Doctor Who. I love that Ncuti. He's a great Doctor. I just hope we get a little bit more whenever we get the next season.
Unit. Yes, yeah. I think we will. And I really want Rogue to come back. Okay, so for the books I reviewed this week, I think the last month I've only read the books that I've had to review. And then Logan and I were reading some Miles Morales. But
honestly, that's kind of where I've been at too. Honestly, it's
I have Spectrograph on my shelf. I need to catch up on the Ghost Machine stuff. I need to
You're missing out on some good stuff. Read them on the plane when you're flying 8 hours to Barcelona.
I have 2 books I'm bringing because I don't want to have to carry all of it because we're going to be gone for 3 weeks. So I really have to be smart about what I'm packing. So I need to just get my stack down before I leave. So one of the comics I reviewed this week was Blood Hunt, Union Jack the Ripper. If anybody is not aware right now, Marvel is doing Blood Hunt all over the place. So many comics. We've got Black Panther. We've got Psylocke is coming up. I just saw you're doing Werewolf by night.
I will be doing Werewolf by Night. Yes.
So that's why if you saw me looking down, I was picking the comic. I'm like, shit, people are already picking their comics. I gotta get in.
Yeah, I did that when I was making food real quick because I was like, oh God, I'm gonna miss something.
Well, I just sent you that Winchester marries the hot girl TikTok. But so this is written by Kevin Scott. It's pencilers Kevin Walker. This is a lot of fun because this one is Union Jack, but it's not the OG Union Jack. It's a new Union Jack. In the first issue, we find he's holding somebody that people are like, oh, what are you doing? And this is one of those characters that he doesn't see himself as a hero, but people are looking up to him as a hero. But he's not just trying to fight the vampires. He's doing something a little more that I don't want to say and ruin it. But it was very interesting to kind of see the struggle of humanity with these, because he's almost like these vampires are just saying what we all think. The dark, is the darkness inside all of us? Is that what this vampirism is doing? Is just bringing out the worst in you that we're all just trying to suppress on the daily. It's kind of like what he's struggling with. So I think it's a lot of fun. All of these, again, they're like short stories, but it's going like, I think they're all just going to be like 3 runs, it seems like. But it's going
That's
on
what I
all
think it
across
is,
the
yeah.
Marvel universe, because I know Black Panther is only 3, but that's been a lot of fun to review. My other comic just wrapped up with issue 5, Wolverine Madripoor Nights. If you read the Uncanny X-Men back in the 90s, this takes place right after issue 268. It's the one where Black Widow is like done a lot of squats on top of that building while Wolverine's crouching down and Captain America's there. So this whole story has been about the 3 of them in this little like side project in Madripoor. And I think my favorite thing of this whole story, it's got the hand and it's got Madripoor, which always provides a whole other element because Madripoor itself is like a character. But the relationship between these 3, I freaking love. And I feel like I wish Fox and I don't even know what I wish. I wish there had been a world where 15 years ago we got these 3 on the screen together. And I would have loved for it to have been Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson and Hugh Jackman, because the relationship between these 3, they are such different people. And we do see obviously Captain America and Black Widow on the screen, and they're great together and they're so different. But the 3 of them together are so different. They think their morals are also different, but I think that's where they're wrong, is that their morals aren't so different.
Yeah.
And that they're all like genuinely good people. They've just all gone through different things, but they still have such a respect for each other, even if they wouldn't do what the other one does. And what's really fun, I thought, was at the end is, Captain America, somebody who's like, he fought Nazis. Nazis bad. America good. And that's how he came into fighting. And we see it, in a lot of the comic books and in the movies, where he learns, shit, this isn't all black and white. This is complicated. And Wolverine is a picture of complicated, and so is Black Widow. And they've, straight out of the gate, neither of them were black and white. They were very gray. Right. And so Captain America is now struggling with a little bit of that because of something that happened to them, where Captain America felt things he had never felt before. And they were things he didn't necessarily hate how he felt, which makes him hate himself. So
weird.
It's Chris Claremont.
Oh.
Who did Uncanny X-Men as well back in the day. So he did this story, just 5 issues, a little spinoff of Uncanny X-Men. You don't need to read Uncanny X-Men. Obviously, there's a bajillion issues, but it catches you up as at the very beginning of each issue. It catches you up what you need to know. Yes, House of the Dragon. I've been watching The Boys and the Acolyte. I have a lot to say about The Boys, but we will do that if by the time this app drops, we'll have already talked about it on our Cantina Hour. House of the Dragon, I feel like maybe we should wait till it's over. Are you up to date on House of the Dragon?
I haven't. No, I'm not watching. However,
I think a lot of people are waiting to binge it.
So Game of Thrones ended so badly that I tried to get through House of Dragon season 1,
That
and
too.
I just didn't get into it.
Oh, that's right.
I know what's happening. I am very up to date because I still watch clips on TikTok. I know what's going to happen in the books anyways. I know how this all ends. So yes, we'll do something at the end. Big thing is make sure you subscribe on like YouTube or Twitter, follow us there, Facebook page, because we do go live on Cantina Hours. And so The Boys and the Acolyte, we are reviewing those weekly live, and shout out to our Patreons for helping us run a show like that because of their support. So with that said, let's roll into news. We do have a pretty packed week of news. Lauren, why don't you kick us off with the bit of news that you have?
Oh, you gave me some news.
I did. I took care of it. Don't worry. I got you this week, girl.
DC's animated Batman Caped Crusader will drop all 10 episodes on Prime August 1st.
Dude, hold on. I can't believe HBO passed up on this and sold it to them because this trailer looks freaking sick.
They seem like they're selling everything. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Max, I'm sorry, HBO. I meant Max. Because
no, it will be HBO and it will be Twitter.
Whoever over there, they're freaking stupid, okay? They're dumb because this looks dope and it's a cool animated series. It looks sick as hell, and I'll just leave it at that. Go watch the trailer.
I didn't even know. Oh, that's the comics. Okay. I'm like reading this news. What? Okay. So Nobody 2 releases August 1st, 2025. That is a movie starring Saul Goodman, Bob Odenkirk. Yes. First one was very interesting, and I really liked the ending with his dad. So I will be watching this, but I will definitely have to rewatch.
Can't say that nobody will not be watching this because everyone's probably going to be watching this.
But so Marvel Comics announced Moon Knight First of Khonshu, a continuation to writer Jed MacKay, artist Alessandro Cappuccio, and colorist Rochelle Rosenberg's 3-year run on the character.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, because
Moon Knight
has it been that long since the show came out? Wow.
Yeah, dude, and we have no movement on Moon Knight. We don't have movement on a lot of these characters that they introduce. It kind of sucks. I hope they give us something soon.
Right. Well, and I feel like we're getting so much more Egyptian mythology in different areas of Marvel. Like, it'd be a great
Oscar
place to tie
Isaac,
it
so
in.
hot. Strike while it's hot.
So
But
hot. Let's get him and
whatever.
Pedro back together.
Oh, ugh.
Dominic Purcell and Wentworth Miller will star in a new series together titled Snatchback. The series follows a highly skilled, privately contracted team of operatives as they recover hostages across the world. Wentworth Miller, isn't that the freeze
They
guy
were
from
Heat
Arrow?
Wave and Captain Cold, yes, and they were
Oh, it's the
also
two of them?
yeah, that's the two
Oh,
of
I
them
love
from
them.
what was that show?
Legends
Prison
of
Break.
Tomorrow.
No, they were Prison Break first.
Oh, I never watched Prison Break.
I didn't either, but they're Prison Break, and then obviously they were in Legends Tomorrow and The Flash. Yeah, that's them.
I love the two of them together.
They're
That's
back.
awesome. So Anthony Starr said filming episode 4 of The Boys season 4 was, quote, probably one of the most enjoyable sequences I've had on the show. I had a ball doing it. It can't get weird enough or dark enough for me, and I love that. We get to do things on screen that we never get to do in real life.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that his whole thing where he laughed at the dude who he made jerk off was unscripted, like.
So I actually I think he's just gotten to know this character so well.
Oh, I mean, this is the fourth season. Come on. Yeah. By this point, that is so on brand for what Homelander would do.
When there was something that Eric Kripke had like tweeted or shared about that scene of like, I guess there were certain things that, yeah, like you said, he laughed.
Yeah,
at, he added other things, but it was like everybody saying like, just get this guy an Emmy is what you get for TV.
He deserves an Emmy for being one of the best actors in TV right now. With that, right. I can't. Yeah.
So Scarlett Johansson says the script for Jurassic World movie is incredible. She will be in it. David Koch wrote it. He returned to Jurassic Park after 30 years to write the script. He's so passionate about it, which is awesome. Those are her words.
I will believe that when I see it because, good Lord, Jurassic Park has just gone to places that I don't like.
Andy Serkis, a.k.a. Alfred, has revealed Batman 2 begins filming in early 2025. They haven't started filming.
We were supposed to have it like this October, and then the writer strike pushed it, and so they're not filming until early 2025. So we probably won't get this movie till like October 2026. Can we please not go to war with the world until after I at least get to watch the Batman? Because the Penguin trailer dropped, and that looks sick. And now, like, I need more of the Batman and Robert Pattinson.
Josh watched the Penguin trailer before House of the Dragon while I was getting Logan to sleep, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that looks really good." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't watch it."
If you've got Josh
said it looks good.
If Josh thinks it looks good, what more do you need?
And neither of us were a huge fan of the Batman. I'm not gonna lie. My last news, you already knew this. This isn't.
I forgot. So this is like new information all over again. It's like 51st dates all over again.
We also had those kids behind us talking that Josh asked to kindly shut the fuck up.
Batman's so good, like the car chase. All right, whatever.
That car scene was great. There were great moments in that movie. And you know what? Before Batman 2 comes out, and we're going to do a Penguin comic book origin episode.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if I can rewatch. We'll see. Maybe I'll rewatch it on fast forward. So Hugh Jackman said that he felt rejuvenated when returning as Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine. Quote, from emotion, humor, dialogue, and action, everything felt new and fresh to me. There was not a day where I wasn't in tears laughing. I'm 25 years in, man, and it feels better than ever, end quote. I love that so fucking much. And after this episode, next week is Shark Week. So we will be doing Jaws 3 with Charlie. And then we will be doing a lot of Deadpool and Wolverine and catching y'all up on the X-Men movies. And I've been rewatching everything, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do, actually, I think our Patch comic origin episode will probably drop after the movie.
Because we're going to go see the movie on July. Are you realizing that we're exactly 1 month from yesterday filming this? From seeing the movie together in London, fucking England.
London, baby. I cannot wait. I mean, I saw Inside Out this week, and I was more excited about seeing the poster and the standing things of Wolverine and Deadpool than I was of. I started actually calling the movie Wolverine and Deadpool, not Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, you also didn't like the Batman, so not ever. Anyways, let's focus on
Josh
the good.
And I actually were watching Deadpool last night. Okay. What is your news?
The news is I'm excited to get to see that. But yeah, we have a lot to come down the pipe. Anyway, speaking of DC, there is a Green Lantern show called Lanterns that has been greenlit for 8 episodes. The series will follow Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. Hello, call Glenn Powell for Hal Jordan as they are drawn into an Earth-based mystery.
People are saying Jensen Ackles should play him.
No, I want Jensen Ackles as Bat.
We all do.
Okay. please. Anyways, they're investigating murder in the American heartland. Chris Mundy, known for Ozark, will serve as a showrunner with Damon Lindelof and Tom King co-writing. They are not holding anything back. And aside from that, Lanterns, Welcome to Derry, which is the prequel series for It, and multiple other big budget WB shows are moving from being Max exclusives to airing first on HBO. Okay. Is that like cable again? Is that what? All right. Anyways,
Who the hell knows?
more DC news. Kite Man will be premiering on Max July 18th. I totally didn't know this was actually happening, so I'm excited for this. And Marvel will be at Hall H this year for San Diego Comic-Con. So I'm really hoping we get some news about like Black Knight.
Just if they're going to announce things,
Moon Knight.
follow through.
Yeah, I'm tired of this. Like, we're announcing stuff and then it gets canceled 3 months later down the road.
Except for what they did with Agatha. That was funny, where they kept changing it.
Yes. That is.
You want to troll us? That's fine, as long as it pays off in the end.
Yes. Please. Like, Star Wars is another one that's victims of this, or known for this. They announced everything and then it all gets canceled. It's stupid. Anyway, speaking of Star Wars, our resident Sith, but not Sith, helmet is for sale. You can buy our Darth Teeth. Oh, dude, it's sick. I would live in that helmet.
I'm
But
going
you
to
can buy
Hollywood
it.
Studios tomorrow. I wonder if it'll be there.
Ooh. Now, Ben Mendelsohn, speaking of Star Wars, will return as Krennic in Andor Season 2, because Andor Season 2 is the finale, which will lead right into Rogue One. And we stand here amongst his accomplishments. And
I'm looking forward to seeing him back.
me too. Oh, dude. Oh, hell yeah. Give me more Director Krennic, please. Speaking of, I am not looking forward to, or maybe I am. I don't know. Freaky Friday 2 has begun filming. Do you have thoughts about that?
Well, if it weren't for the first one, I wouldn't regularly roll my window down and yell at my kids. Make good choices. So maybe I'll get another good one-liner out of this. I don't know.
I've seen Lindsay Lohan's recent movies. Her acting's not the best, but
well, I finally Googled one day, because I literally will do the reach out like Jamie Lee Curtis too with the make good choices. Like, I do that whole thing. Oh my God, Brielle rolls her eyes so hard. It's so funny. But I Googled it one day and she's only 43 in that movie. So it's how old is Lindsay Lohan now? She's probably close to it, because I'm pretty sure she's my age.
No, Lindsay Lohan. She's not. She's only a year or two older than I am.
She's 37.
See, she's 3 years older than me.
She's still younger.
That's crazy.
She was young when she did Mean Girls.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, she's not much older than I am, and she looks way older. But my last bit of news is, are you ready to go back to the swamp? What are you doing in my swamp? Because there is a Donkey movie in the works where Eddie Murphy is set to return as the voice of Donkey. We will milk this franchise until there is no more milking left. It's like Despicable Me. It never dies, except for Shrek is actually good. So.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Universal also, I think they're doing more Shrek stuff at Epic, maybe?
I think they are. They're Shrek raves.
Okay. I've heard the How to Train Your Dragon area looks like it's going to be really big. I just realized both of us wrote cow under our name.
We did. Mine's in all caps, though. Another cow.
I wish mine had said another cow. That would have been better.
Well, speaking of cows, I think there's a storm upon the horizon. Let's get Dorothy in the back of our trucks. We're going to take you to Tornado Alley as we discuss the 1996 cult classic film that my sister had on every single day of our life when we were younger. Not days of our lives, the soap opera, but every day of our life. Let's go. We're going to hang out in the universe of Twister. We will be right back.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for 50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Hey, we're back, just like I said we would be. Now, Twister, man. First of all, what is a tornado? Well, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you real quick. Tornadoes are violently rotating columns of air extending from a thunderstorm, which are in contact with the ground. Tornadoes develop when wind variations with height support rotation in the updraft. Cold air meet hot air, spin, boom. Very, very crazy stuff. I, as a kid, lived in Minot, North Dakota for a little bit, which is known for some tornadoes. And I was so terrified of tornadoes because we got them pretty regularly in the summers that I literally watched Weather Channel from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed because I was so terrified of a tornado coming out of nowhere. I had no life.
Well,
it
that's
was
not good.
Weather Channel. And then my dream was to become a meteorologist. Still would love that. But dude, I lived for Weather Channel.
When I was in first grade and they asked what I wanted to be, I wrote that I wanted to be a meteorologist when I grew up, but it was because I misspelled marine biologist.
Those are very different things.
yeah, very much so.
Very vastly different
Hey,
things.
there's water spouts. You ever seen a
There
water?
is.
I've never seen one in real life, but they actually do
Oh, I
spit out
have.
like fish.
Yeah.
I've seen one like in the far distance, but I've never seen one that like spits out fish, but I've heard they do that.
I've never seen Sharknado, but only the movie. I have seen one in Destin, and then I've seen tornadoes in person. There was one forming over my house. I've seen a bunch. I'm fascinated by weather, honestly. Like, it's weird. I love hurricanes. I love studying them. I love tornadoes. I watch on Reddit tornado videos all the time. I don't know. Something's wrong with me. That's my
You
secret.
get them regularly, and I've never seen a tornado in real life. Knock on wood. I really don't. Want
Good.
to.
You don't, because they're so unpredictable. Like the Joplin tornado of 2011. Like, that was absolutely devastating.
Well,
And this year we've had some really bad tornadoes already too.
For us, though, down in Florida, it's usually it's a thunderstorm. And if it's a hurricane, the things that are the most detrimental during the hurricanes are the tornadoes. If you end up on the dirty side, is what it's called, the dirty side of the hurricane.
Northeast of the hurricane is the strongest part with the most winds. Yeah. And then the dirty side is like that just all that churning that happens underneath. Yeah.
But it's always funny to me when people are like, how can you live in Florida? Aren't you concerned about hurricanes? No, because you get plenty of notice.
Hurricanes are less scary. Yeah.
Right. Our houses are not wood framed.
You get like days in advance, like 5+ days. Yeah.
It's where it's become a common thing to where we bring everything inside. I fill all the growlers up with water. I buy all the dry snacks. You know, we always have candles and matches. And then we go to Disney because Disney is empty and the weather's beautiful. And so the hurricanes really do not. But the scariest part about hurricanes are the
they're
tornadoes.
Unpredictable.
But I was at a brewery one time and I was like, oh, I'm heading out. And people are like, yeah, you really shouldn't. There's a tornado out there. So I was like, okay. So I waited an hour and then I drove home and there was fences down and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. So
like there is so much good footage. I say good, but it's really like devastating for the people who are part of it. Like, I watch tornado videos. They're just like, there's something fascinating in like a very scary way. Like Mother Nature
is an act of God, so to speak.
Yeah. Like, you know, it's just insane to see these things happen. There's a really good TikTok video of this girl in Nebraska when they get that really bad one that barely missed Omaha. She's just walking and she's like, there's a tornado over there. And it's just like this big ass tornado. It's just, look it up, Nebraska tornado. But yeah, dude, tornadoes are getting worse, like the Midwest. And it looks like Tornado Alley is actually shifting east a little bit, which is very interesting as well. Virginia kind of gets them. The Northeast last weekend got some tornado warnings.
Why does somebody live someplace called Tornado Alley?
That's why I don't like the Midwest. I don't want to live in the Midwest. What is fun about that? First of all, there's nothing to look at besides corn. And then tornadoes. Second of all, you get tornadoes all summer. Actually, spring to like winter now because of the weather pattern. So like, I'm okay. I'm all set. Anyways.
Days off for hurricanes.
Yeah, you don't get, the only way you get days off for tornadoes is if it
destroys you. Yeah.
I'd rather not that happen to anybody because like I can't even watching these videos, people have like these tornado shelters and like touring people's tornado shelters. First of all, I'm afraid of spiders. Second of all, like
Why are you afraid of spiders?
because like these cellars in the middle of their yard that you go down inside, and I just think like spiders live in there all the time. I don't know, but people have like decked some of these out, and it's like that's terrifying.
Well,
but
they're probably ready for the
spiders.
Apocalypse.
True.
I mean, there are
Anyways,
spiders that can kill you, but
Black Widows, Brown Recluse.
Brown Recluse, or you don't fuck around with Brown Recluse.
No, Black Widows, you'll survive. Brown Recluse really fuck you up.
But most spiders are not bad.
I don't know. Anyways, we came here to talk Twister. People don't care about our opinions.
Maybe we should do an episode on spiders.
Arachnophobia?
They
That
wiggle
movie's
and jiggle and tickle
sick.
inside of her. I've never seen
Anyways, this movie, Twister, came out in 1996. It was actually written by Michael Crichton.
You mean Crichton? Michael
Crichton.
Crichton?
You're right.
The guy
Oh,
who wrote
God.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was hoping for some big reveal there, but I butchered his name. So, yes.
That might be spelled wrong.
And
but I
Anne
thought
Marie
I
Martin.
did.
Anyways, it only got a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, which is pretty disappointing because this movie fucks hard. Stars Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, not Bill Pullman, Lauren, Carrie
bad.
Elwes, who we all know, Bill Paxton, RIP, first of all. And then Phillip Seymour Hoffman. A lot of people forget that Phillip Seymour Hoffman's in this. Alan Ruck is in this. You might know Alan Ruck from a little known movie called Ferris Bueller. Sean Whalen, who's been in a bunch of stuff. He's got a pretty successful TikTok. This movie's awesome. It's very goofy. It is so much fun. But this movie's low-key kind of packed with, stars, and it's about a TV weatherman, Bill Harding, who is trying to get his tornado hunter wife, Joe, to sign divorce papers so he can marry his girlfriend, Melissa. But Mother Nature, in the form of a series of intense storms sweeping across Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains, has other plans. Soon, the three have joined the team of storm chasers as they attempt to insert a revolutionary measuring device into the very heart of several extremely violent tornadoes. Now, fun fact, did you know that Bill Paxton, although passed away, Spotter Network choreographed 200 storm chasers to spell out BP with their GPS tracker blips on a radar display to honor him when he passed away in 2017. And this kind of tribute had only been done 5 times before. And it was the first time that it was actually done for somebody who was not a storm chaser.
I did know that, but I didn't know that until a couple days ago.
Well, what are your like, when did you first watch this movie? Do you remember watching it for the first time ever? Because this is,
I don't know if I remember the first time, but this was definitely one of those movies that there's probably like 30 movies that were watched regularly in my house in the 90s. And this was one of them. My friend Megan, who was like my closest friend growing up, she really liked this movie. And so I vividly remember watching it. I remember watching Mad About You. So I loved Helen Hunt. This was like the peak of like Helen Hunt. She was like in a ton of stuff then. And I always loved her. I always thought she was so pretty, and she's funny, and just I really liked her. But no, I mean, I vividly remember watching it as a child, but I don't remember my first experience. And I always liked it. I think it spoke more so to you than it did to me. I mean, obviously I was gushing over The Lion King last week. So, but I mean, I always liked it. It's definitely a great movie. It's very emotional, but it's action packed. It's cheesy.
It's so cheesy.
I always thought of Carrie Elwes as the, Princess Bride guy.
Yeah. And you forget he's in this. Well, because he's the dick.
He's a dick in this.
Yeah. He's the bad. He's basically like Glenn Powell. They took Carrie's character and made it Glenn Powell in this Twisters, but you're supposed to like him, which we haven't seen the movie, obviously. But
bad for it because he got the other guy killed, and the other guy was nice. And like I do like, because I did not rewatch this. I will be honest, I have not watched this in years. But there are still moments where like I remember Bill Paxton's character being, telling the other guy like, just listen to me. Like I know that you're listening to this. I know that you know that I'm not trying to be competitive. That I truly don't want you guys. to
they
die.
set up like this big storm chaser competition between them, which is like. That had me thinking as a kid that this was like an underground cult of storm chasers who just like had this beef with each other, and it's not the case at all.
No, it's just like whose dick is bigger.
Basically, yeah. So why don't you take us into some fun facts now, going on from your first time to fond memories to what are some fun facts about this movie?
So Paxton and Helen Hunt were temporarily blinded when they sat in the cab of a truck that was lit with bright electric lamps all day long. To keep the sky behind them looking dark and stormy, they had to make it get brighter outside the truck. So the lamps were made even brighter. So that bright light actually is what caused them to be temporarily blinded. And they actually had to use eye drops and wear special glasses for a few days afterward. They also had to get a hepatitis shot at one point. So
what does that have to do with the bright lights? Is that
No, that was a different thing. They were in a dirty ditch.
Oh.
It was just showing like what they went through to make this.
Got you.
So it's funny, and I don't think I added this to the fun facts, but one of the things I looked up was like some of them went on Oprah afterwards and were talking about everything they went through to make the movie, and that there were scenes where like, you know, shrapnel is flying by them and this and that. And then after they're talking about everything like they went through to make this movie that was, you know, very physically demanding and whatnot, Oprah then goes, okay, and we'll be right back with actual survivors from tornadoes. And then the movie starts. They're like, it was so embarrassing at that point because we were over here like, look at us, we did all these heroic things, and then here's people who literally lost everything and barely survived a tornado.
I mean, yeah, dude, that's tough.
Yeah. So one of the places for the film's location, Wichita, is population of 344. They had scouts actually, like when they were going out to see where they should film, they found this place that still had debris from a previous hailstorm everywhere. So they were like, oh, this is perfect. And then they signed on a bunch of locals and gave them $100 a day. You can now go there, and it is home to Twister, the movie museum, which opened up a few months
I need to go. The only
release.
reason I have to go to Oklahoma.
There's also a 5-block walking tour, plus a Dorothy 1 prop and a Twister pinball machine, which was a
What
gift
does this
from
walking
Paxton.
tour include? I wonder, like a 5. What?
Who knows?
There's a planes, nothing. Oh, there's a bill. I'm very interested because there ain't shit in Oklahoma. Let's be real.
I have no idea. When we passed through Oklahoma, all we did was I took pictures outside the OKC basketball stadium arena, and then we ate, I think, at Toby Keith's restaurant. I love this bar.
Yeah. Well, anyways, did you know that tornado sounds are actually animal sounds, including a camel?
That's
I did
pretty
not.
funny.
A Boeing 707 jet was actually used to make the wind, and filming in Oklahoma was actually briefly delayed due to the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City on April 19th, 1995. Many of the crew went to the site to help with recovery efforts. Fuck you, Timothy McVeigh, you piece of shit.
I mean, yeah, that was
I actually think that's really cool. Yeah,
huge news, but yeah, that was really cool that they did that. Yeah, that was fucking terrible. This next fun fact I thought was really cool, and I shared this with Kaylee yesterday, and she thought it was really cool too.
What is it?
The CGI cow was originally the CGI zebra from Jumanji.
I had no idea. That's cool as shit. That's cool. Jumanji's another staple of our childhood growing up. Come on.
Oh, for sure. But like when so it's funny, Megan, who you met at MegaCon, who, you know, if you've heard the story where she's like, oh my God, the real Matt.
Megan's my number one fan, actually. Yes, I have heard of this Megan. Believe it or not. I think I signed a picture for her once.
You did. I want to be like, she has it framed. It wouldn't surprise me if she did, just to be a goofball, but I don't know that she does. So this is what one of my daughter's closest friends, her roommate, you know, they're in college. And so they all came over for dinner last night. And Megan had a very interesting childhood and did not see a lot of classics. She was just introduced to Jurassic Park last week.
I would adopt her tomorrow.
I think we were recording last week and Kaylee's texting me, where's the Jurassic Park DVD? I don't know. So Megan did finally watch it. And so I mentioned we were recording on Twister. Megan had not seen Twister either. So I do believe they are going to be watching this. I got to go find that DVD.
Well, there is an urban legend, actually, speaking of Twisters, that a tornado hit a drive-in theater in Stony Creek, Ontario while this movie was playing. However, no, but a tornado did hit a drive-in theater in Thorold, Ontario on May 20th, 1996, which damaged the screen. The movie was not playing when it hit, but it was scheduled to play that evening.
So close.
Ooh. In 1997, Twister and Mars Attacks, Jack Nicholson's, geez, I promise I can speak, were the first movies to release on DVD.
I double checked that because I was
That's
like,
wild.
no way. 1996. So like I saw that fun fact.
97, yeah, I guess.
I think an article, and then I saw it on IMDb, and then I Googled it again, and I was like, holy shit, this is real? I guess I thought DVDs were older than that.
I didn't think they were older than that. I thought they were newer than that. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, we talked, you know, again, Lion King last week, and that was definitely just on VHS when it came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was 2 years before.
Last but not least, Bill Paxton once said, I'd love to direct a sequel to that movie. I've always felt like there was a Jaws version of that movie. I always felt like we did the Pepsi Light version of that movie. Man, and then he obviously passed away, and now Glenn Powell is taking the reins, which I really, God, I can't wait for that movie.
I love Bill Paxton.
It sucks. So like, do you think they'll play Twisters on the cruise since it comes out July 19th? Like, where does Disney stand on
Disney, is it?
No,
it's Universal.
I know.
I was like, I'm looking at my show notes for Universal Studios, the show in Orlando, and I'm like, does Disney? Well, I mean, Disney's.
I've been to that ride, dude. I went with Josh, my heterosexual life mate Josh, back in 2014. Actually, it was right before. It was 2 days
closed.
before I met Carrie. Actually,
Oh, that's funny. It actually closed November 2015.
wow, they should never. It was awesome. So like, it was an indoor special effects attraction that was based on the movie, opening May 4th, 1998, and it replaced the Ghostbusters Spooktacular. However, Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt were the pre-recorded hosts throughout the attraction. Now you get to go like into this room and like this car, and then you get to experience
so
like
much
this
shit everywhere.
The wind blows. You get to experience a lifelike encounter with a simulated tornado in the main show area. You get water, fire, the objects move across the stage. There's a bunch of other things. And then, like Lauren said, I guess it wasn't doing great. And it closed in 2015, which is silly. And I would actually, fun fact. Okay, so it was replaced by the Jimmy Fallon Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon.
Which is, I love Jimmy Fallon, but that's the worst fucking ride ever.
So fun story about the Jimmy Fallon ride. We actually Carrie and I were there for some reason, and we got to do I have a Jimmy Fallon shirt because we got to do a press ride for that. Funny enough, they were like, "Hey, we have this new ride we're testing out. Would you guys like to try it?" Well, it was a Jimmy Fallon ride. So she loves that ride. Carrie loves that ride.
It's not a ride.
I'm whispering. She actually listens to this episode. I don't. And I honestly never knew until tonight that it replaced the Twister ride. And now I'm even more angry that Jimmy Fallon got to replace such greatness, because that Twister thing was sick. I did the Fast and Furious. And I did what did
Fast and the Furious replace? I forget.
Well, I also did
Earthquake.
Was that the one where you're on the train and it's like, see, that was dope too, man. Like those are natural disasters.
Say what you want. I'm not ragging on Fast and the Furious, the franchise, at all, but the ride is one of the worst rides
Honestly,
ever.
I did the ride in Universal Hollywood, and that ride was kind of bum, but
yes, the only we played the drinking game in the line. If you're familiar with that ride and you think it's terrible, here's what you do: you go to Diagon Alley first, you get some beers, and then in the line, every time they say family or party, you take a sip. And you will be drunk by the time you get on the ride. Erica was like, "Why did I get a stout? That was a terrible idea."
Yeah. So, dude, I had no idea until just now. The Jimmy Fallon ride. Boo. We have a shirt Carrie wears all the time still. I'll take a picture of it. But yeah, man, like I remember as a kid though, we watched this movie and like my sister is 3 years younger than I am. She was obsessed. She would have this playing on with a VHS. And she would have this.
She
was born in 94. So like she didn't get on this train obviously right away, but she was like 4 or 5 years old when she loved this movie up through like 8, 9 years old. So she'd be playing with like her dolls and like she'd be watching the movie. It'd be in like her little TV with the VHS in, and all you would hear is her reenacting the movie with her dolls. She'd be like, ah! And that's all you hear from her room. And it's just like, what is going on in there?
Cow.
But she would watch Twister every day.
That's so funny. I mean, Kaylee was obsessed with Jurassic Park when she was 3.
Yeah, like it's something, and again, there's so many good scenes. Like you forget Phillip Seymour Hoffman. He's kind of like the goofy guy. He's got the long hair. He's like, yeah, you get the emotional beats. So there's that scene where they are on that hill. There's that hill where the tornado's jumping and he backs up and he's like, I know you want your dad, because Joe's dad perished in a tornado, which led her down this path.
Is this like you haven't seen it go from one house and skip another house?
Yes, exactly. Yes. And then there's like the really heartfelt scene when they do go to the town and they go to that lady's house and they're all eating the home cooked food. And
anytime I hear steak and eggs, I still think of Twister.
Yes. And Phillip Seymour Hoffman was pounding that, and like
anytime I see wind chimes too. If anybody has like a bunch of wind chimes, I go straight to Twister.
Anytime I hear wind chimes and they start to like make that wind chimey noise, I think Twister as well because of that movie, because I'm like, oh, there's a tornado because of the movie. But there's so many good scenes. Like there's like the soundtrack is really good too. They're like driving through the ditch in the Dodge Ram, man. This is when Dodge Rams were huge.
What do you think Dodge paid for that?
Oh, guaranteed. They're in the, and then you got like Dorothy, of course, because of, Wizard of Oz. But like there's so many good scenes that the whole scene with the drive-in theater, that when it rips through the town, like they're watching that movie and it just rips off the screen and they're stuck in the gas station, they're peeling off the town. Melissa, she wasn't cut out for that life. She was going to go sign her booze.
For this, like, poor
she got drugged through that. Yeah, like he was, hey, come sign these divorce papers with me, I love you, but we gotta, come on, Bill, what are you doing here? Kind of messed
Oh.
up.
I mean, they both had shit. Obviously, there was unresolved issues
They're clearly, and then they clearly get together because there's the most ridiculous scene in like movie
with the
where there's
belt.
that dude. They're driving through the cornfield, and then they run into that barn and they tie themselves to the pipe in the belt, and the tornado just rolls right through it, and they're stuck in the middle of the tornado holding each other. It's like no.
It is cool though because you see her like she knows her life is in peril, but she's so obsessed with these storms and finds them fascinating that she has to look up to. I guess would be the equivalent of the eye of the hurricane. It's the eye of the tornado. And so, I mean, that is a pretty cool scene because it's like when you're so into something, even if it's a dangerous situation, you're not thinking about that. You're just mesmerized.
You're like, this is cool. Yeah.
Right. By the situation. Like somebody who's big into sharks, they're just like, oh my God, there's a shark. They're not like, oh my God, there's a shark. So it made sense and fit with her character. But yes, it is silly. And of course, then they come up and they're making out and everyone's like cheering.
Yeah. Like, yeah. It's like, oh my God. I gotta say, like the tornado graphics are really good considering it was 1996. Like, honestly, I haven't watched it in a little while either, but I can still remember it to this day. Like maybe I need to rewatch because maybe I'm misremembering, but like the graphics for the tornadoes, pretty good. And they get stuck in those water spouts, obviously the dual water spouts and another cow, and they're like getting stuck in the truck. And
that's another line. I mean, obviously there's cows all over Florida. So, I mean, that has definitely happened in our car. Cow.
Yeah,
cow.
I do. I say it all the time, especially.
I think that's the same cow.
Yeah. I think that's the same cow. It's such a good movie. It really is a classic, and I'm so hoping that this does well. I didn't realize Karen Shipka was in this. She's Sabrina from the Netflix series. She's in a lot of stuff. Totally Killer on Amazon. Yeah. And obviously Glenn Powell, but this is a redo. It's not like a continuation. It's just an entire remake.
When I looked it up, it looked like it was a redo, which I was kind of surprised at. I'm hoping that because when I also looked at the cast, I expected to see, obviously not Bill Paxton, but I expected like Helen Hunt, maybe like Helen Hunt started to, because she said she got out of acting to raise her kids.
Right.
So I was like, maybe, I mean, Carrie Ewells is still around. He
does Edgar Jones in this thing.
I didn't see any of the original people.
I'm looking, like obviously like we haven't seen it. Paul Scheer's in this. I love that. But looking at the cast, there really is no original cast. Obviously Phillip Seymour Hoffman's passed away, Bill Paxton's passed away, but there are a lot of people that are still alive.
That's interesting because this movie's not.
Well, I mean, it hasn't been released yet, so maybe they're going to have little cameos. I feel like.
Well, it says the IMDb description is an update to the 1996 film Twister, which centered on a pair of storm chasers who risked their lives in an attempt to test an experimental weather alert system. So it says it's an update to it. It doesn't say
Michael Crichton's back though as one of the writers, so I'm very curious.
Well, I mean, if they're updating it, that makes sense if he was the original. Right? I have no idea.
I don't know. I will have to find a movie theater somehow in the middle of Lisbon, Portugal to watch this movie.
I will probably be waiting for DVD for this one. I'm not going to lie.
No, I'm going to watch it the second.
They're streaming. I'm sorry. We're talking 96. I went to DVD.
We are streaming. I will probably watch this the second I get back in the country because I have to. Like, this is a have to watch. I thought it was July 12th, but it's July 19th. So I'm even more bummed. Honestly, like, I'm very surprised that.
Because you can't watch it before you leave.
No, I thought I was going to be able to watch it before I leave. And then it comes out 4 days or not even a week before, like a week before Deadpool and Wolverine. Like that's a ballsy move, bud. So this movie's going to come to streaming fast. Guaranteed in August, this will be on all the streaming platforms because like cinema is just in that realm. But
I mean, this would be, who was it? Somebody in our Discord was saying that this was going to be their first 4D movie. And I was like,
it was,
good choice. I think it was Seth too. This is a fantastic first 4D movie.
Cover your beer, cover your popcorn.
Get your lid. Yeah. But I mean, anybody who's not familiar with 4D, it's literally like you're on a ride at Disney. Your chair is moving all around and they do the wind.
They're spraying at you. Like
you can usually turn your water off, but if you're sitting next to an 11-year-old who's an asshole, she continually turns your water back on.
I do it to her. Like if Carrie and I are together, I do that to her.
Oh my gosh.
I turned mine off, dude. I'm not getting sprayed, but you are.
Ghostbusters, because obviously it was a frozen empire, so there was a decent amount of water. I'm like, why does this keep spraying me? And then I used to see Brielle.
That sounds about right. It's a great movie, man. I would love to hear if you grew up with this movie like we did. It's a classic, man. Obviously, we remember so much. So let us know what your thoughts are on Twister. Are you going to go see Twisters? And Lauren, dude, what's coming next week? I know you're pumped.
So Shark Week is next week. We did Jaws 1 2 years ago. We did Jaws 2 last year. And this year we were doing Jaws 3, which is the one that takes place at SeaWorld. And they pretend SeaWorld is on the beach and it could not be further from the beach. I mean, it could be further from the beach, but it could not be further from the beach and still be in Florida. And Charlie, your heterosexual, no, wait, not your heterosexual life mate, your other friend.
My other heterosexual life mate, who I do a podcast with called Real Buffs. Check out. We deep dive into movies. I'm everywhere. This is why Carrie's mad at me all the time.
Take a night off, Matt.
You're right.
But yeah, Charlie, we've had him on a couple times. We've talked Jurassic Park. We've talked Jaws. I always love when he comes on the show. So I'm looking forward to talking Jaws 3 and how not great that movie was, but it's still fantastic.
It's something, all right. And it's actually Leah Thompson's film debut, believe it or not. So we'll
Huey's dad is in it. We're at that point now. We're calling Dennis Quaid Huey's dad. We
kind of need to. Him and the other Quaid are little nutcases. So there's a reason why
the other ones
doesn't talk to either of them for good reason.
I didn't know that. But the other one's been a nutcase on and off screen for years.
Oh my God. Well,
Uncle Eddie.
He did
Cousin Eddie.
Go right in and destroy the entire alien invasion in Independence Day. So
that's right. And he said, I'm back.
I can't believe we didn't even do a solid Independence Day movie with July 4th this week. But that reminds me, if you are celebrating in the United States July 4th, please be safe. Do not blow your fingers off. Drink responsibly. Of course, we do enjoy a beer of the week.
Responsibly.
Yes, I've only had 2 tonight, believe it or not. Please be safe, be smart. And then join us next week as we're going to go down to the beach. We're gonna go dive into the ocean, maybe not in Florida right now because shark attacks are on the rise there, but we are gonna go Jaws 3D.
Only in the Gulf.
Yeah, that's fair. But anyways, join us. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, hey, please drop a review, like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff that I hate saying, but I have to say it. I have to remind you. Please help us, help you, help us, help you. And until next time, cheers.
Ciao.
It can get lonely climbing Mount McKinley, so to entertain myself, I go to ChumbaCasino.com. At Chumba Casino, I can play hundreds of online casino-style games for free, like online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Plus, I get a daily login bonus. It's just too bad that up here, I don't have anyone to share my excitement with. Woohoo!
Live the Chumba life. Anytime, anywhere. Play for free now at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+. All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow. It's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+. All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.